Have you been asked to give a presentation on your research or your ideas? Hello, I'm Dr. Amanda Ratcliffe from the Department of Communication at the University of Texas at Tyler. In this video, I'll share with you the steps to develop and give a successful speech. So first, when you're tasked to give a speech, you want to look at your audience, the occasion, and the expectations of your presentation. All three of these factors will go into determining what your topic is and how you'll be presenting. If you already have a topic chosen, for instance, if you have a research paper that you're tasked with presenting to an audience of faculty members, then obviously this particular presentation will be your topic. The occasion, is this for a capstone project? Is this a speech presentation, a final exam? All of these things might factor in how you deliver a particular presentation. And of course, the expectations. What does the audience expect? Consider all of these things and decide on a topic. As you go through the development of your speech, you next want to put your ideas and your information on paper. And so, after you get your specific topic, you want to divide it into main points. This is very important for an organized presentation. Also, you want to add supporting information under your main points to make sure each idea is well supported. And of course, if you use outside research, you must cite your sources out loud so the audience knows where you got your information from. After you develop the body of your speech, it's a good idea then to go back and develop your introduction and conclusion. An introduction to a speech typically contains three major aspects: an attention getter or a hook statement, which captures the audience's attention; a thesis or big idea statement, which overviews the big goal of the speech; and then a preview statement, which previews for the audience the main points of the presentation they should listen for. The conclusion, similarly, has three major aspects: a summary statement, so the audience can hear a review of what your main points were; a restatement of your thesis or big idea; and then a definite ending statement, which should be a statement that signifies to your audience that you're finished without you having to say, "I'm finished." As you are developing this information on paper, go ahead and start putting it in an outline format. An outline format will give you a visual framework as to what main points are well supported, what aspects of your presentation need developing more or maybe editing more. And throughout this whole process, you need to edit and understand that or make sure that your information on paper will fit within the time frame that you're given for your presentation. After you feel comfortable with your presentation on paper, you then want to develop your visual aid. So if visual aids are required, you definitely want to know what type of visual aid is requested of your professor. Most of the time people use PowerPoint, Google Slides, Prezi. There's several other electronic aids that are now becoming popular. When you design a visual aid, keep it very simple and clear. This is actually a common misconception. In many college classrooms, you will probably see PowerPoints that have a lot of text on them, full sentences, paragraphs. This is not the purpose of a visual aid. The purpose of a visual aid is to just supplement what the speaker is discussing. So you, the speaker, are the star of the show, and the PowerPoint is just your backup dancer. It's there to make you look good, it's there to reinforce ideas, but overall you should only include clear key points on your PowerPoint. Don't get it too busy or too full of information. It distracts from you, the speaker. Make sure your PowerPoint has a consistent design all throughout, the same background, the same font and colors used consistently through the whole slideshow. And then realize, once again, a visual aid is an aid to your speech. It's a supplement. It is not the main focus, so don't let it take focus away from you. Next, you need to practice your presentation. Develop speaker notes. Speaker notes are abbreviated notes that only contain bullet points consisting of key phrases, words, very short notes that don't get you into the temptation of reading from them. So don't have full sentences on your notes. You've got to know your notes really well, but have a good set of notes to keep you on track. The goal of a presentation is to speak to an audience. It's not to read to an audience. And so develop your notes so you can look up, engage in your audience, speak in a conversational manner, and not get caught just looking down, reading the whole time. Also, practice out loud. So many students think that if they go over the speech in their mind, then that's sufficient. There's a big difference in thinking about something and then actually saying a presentation out loud. So make sure you practice out loud. Think about your nonverbal delivery. This includes things like your posture, your facial expressions, your gestures, your eye contact, all of those things that help convey a sense of confidence and competence to the audience. Two things can be true at once. You can be nervous, but you can look confident. And nonverbal delivery can be practiced. And so practice standing up straight. Practice looking at an audience. Practice presenting your speech with a facial expression that matches your message. These things are very important. Think also about verbal delivery. Not just what you say, but how are you saying it? How are you using your voice to convey your message? First of all, your tone should always match your topic. If you're talking about a serious subject, it's probably not a good idea to be laughing or sounding jovial. Also, make sure that you're enunciating your words properly, pronouncing words correctly, and overall, your voice can be easily understood. Sometimes this takes some practice. Make sure that you slow down, take your time, and fully pronounce your words. Finally, practice with your visual aids. Make sure that you're familiar with when you should change your slides, when you should move on to the next topic, and you can put little notes to yourself on your speaker notes to help remind you of this. But make sure you practice with your visual aid. Next, let's look at the day of the speech. So, it has arrived. You are ready to give your presentation. The nerves hit you at the last moment. What are some things that you can do to help yourself out? Well, first of all, always arrive to the speech location early. It's best to scope out the location so you can know what technology is available to you, so perhaps you can test your visual aid to make sure it works. All of these things are very helpful for speakers. So you get there and you don't have to worry about being late. You're already probably nervous, and so being late would just add to the pressure. Also, give yourself time to have a final practice session. This can be done in your car, sitting in the parking lot, or maybe in a corner of a lobby or hallway. Just run through the speech softly to yourself so you can have one last memory check of your plan for the presentation. Once you get into the room and you're ready to present, make sure everything is loaded, your visual aid is loaded, your notes are in order. Arrange the room how you want it in terms of where do you want the podium, where do you want to stand. Take a deep breath and smile and then begin. Don't apologize. Don't start with a degrading statement. Oh, this is probably going to suck. Don't say things like that. Just start with your plan. You'll be fine, and move through your plan. So remember, overall, the whole point of public speaking is to convey a message to an audience. If you keep this in mind, then you understand that it's very important as you go through the steps of preparing for a speech and delivering a speech that conveying the message is the ultimate goal. So today in this video, we've gone through the steps of preparing and delivering a speech. I hope that you find some of this information helpful. And the next time you're asked to give a presentation, you'll be ready to do so.